What if your best friend was trapped inside a sealed city full of enemies, and you had only hours before he was lost forever? And what if you yourself were running out of time, with the infection eating you from the inside? This is the explosive story of Maze Runner, the Death Cure. Today's Script Blueprint brings you every thrilling moment of this final chapter. The story begins with a fast-moving train. Inside one car, there are many children. These kids are special because the flare virus has no effect on them. They were kidnapped by a powerful and cruel group called WCKD from the rebel group called the Right Arm. Thomas' friends are also on that train. Suddenly, a vehicle races onto the track near the train. Inside it are Thomas and Vince, the brave leader of the Right Arm. Another vehicle follows, carrying Brenda and other members of the team. Thomas and Vince climb onto the roof of the speeding train. They disconnect the car that holds the children from the engine. But freeing the kids is not simple. The container is locked, and guards are coming closer. At the same time, Brenda and Jorge take control of an aircraft. They fly over the train, latch onto the car full of children, and lift it into the sky. Just like that, they fly away with the whole container. The children are saved. Thomas rushes inside to find his friend Mijo, but Mijo is not there. Mijo was in a different part of the train. He is still a prisoner of WCKD. Thomas learns a shocking truth. WCKD was taking these children to a place called the Last City. It is the world's final stronghold, a huge city surrounded by massive walls. All of WCKD's operations run from there. Thomas wants to go there immediately to save his friend. But the others say it is too dangerous. There are too many children to protect, and they cannot risk everyone's lives. That night, Thomas decides to go alone. But he does not stay alone for long. Newt, his closest and most loyal friend, and Frypan, their brave companion, catch up with him. "We are coming with you," they say. The three of them head towards the Last City. They travel through a long, dark tunnel. Without warning, infected people called Cranks attack them. Cranks were once human, but the virus destroyed their minds and turned them into wild monsters. They swarm the boys and try to infect them. Just then, Jorge and Brenda arrive and pull them out of danger. Now together, the group finally reaches the Last City. They stare at the massive walls that surround the entire city. The walls are too high, the city too protected. Getting inside seems almost impossible. Meanwhile, inside the city, Mijo is being tortured. WCKD is trying to pull a special enzyme from his brain. They need it to make a cure. Dr. Ava Page is shown with girl Teresa. Head of the group Dr. Ava shows two people picture of Mijo and tells them that he was running in maze 3 years, so enzyme he have is stronger than anyone. Mijo's body has survived many hard challenges, so his antibodies have become very strong. That is why he is so valuable to them. At that time, we are being told that they were putting these kids in maze so their immune system can make antibodies because their brain are working in very tense situations so they can make new serum that will be cure for deadly virus. Outside the walls, Thomas and his friends are not alone. Many people who are not infected are gathered there. They are protesting and begging to be let inside. But no one is allowed. A secret chip on the necks of Thomas and the others tells WCKD their location. Jansen finds out that Thomas is outside and orders an immediate attack. Before the attack can hit, a mysterious vehicle arrives and takes Thomas and his friends to a hidden place. They do not know who saved them. A masked boy steps forward and removes his mask. It is Gally. Gally was with them in the maze a long time ago. He was the one who shot at Thomas, but the bullet hit their young friend Chuck and killed him. Thomas attacks Gally in anger, but Newt explains that Gally was not in control. His mind was ruled by WCKD's system. Everyone thought Gally died, but he survived. And now he is here to save Mijo. He knows the city and can help. Gally takes them to a man named Lawrence. Lawrence is the leader of all the people living outside the walls. He agrees to help them. He tells Gally to take Thomas and Newt inside the city, but the others must stay behind. He knows if they free Mijo, it can help his own fight against WCKD. So Gally, Thomas, and Newt secretly enter the Last City. They see a high-tech world, clean and orderly but full of hidden cruelty. Through binoculars, Thomas watches the main WCKD building. That is where the experiments happen. And there he sees Teresa. She was once his close friend, the girl who betrayed him. Now she is working with WCKD. In the lab, Teresa injects a new medicine into a child infected with the flare. This serum was made from enzymes taken from Miho. Slowly, the child's wild symptoms begin to fade. The medicine is working. Ava Page and Jansen are thrilled. At the other side, we saw that Newt told Thomas that he is also infected and virus is killing his mind slowly. Soon his mind will be out of control. Thomas decides to meet with Teresa while she is taking. He and his group capture Teresa and bring her outside the city walls. They also ask her to cut the tracking chip out of her body so WCKD cannot find them. Teresa sees Brenda and is shocked. Brenda was infected, but now she looks completely healthy. Teresa learns that Dr. Mary used an enzyme from Thomas's blood to cure her. She asks, when did you last give her serum? Thomas tell him only once, and that was months ago. Teresa begins to understand that Thomas's blood might hold the ultimate answer, but he don't want to believe her. Because the serum they make in lab using Miho, it's not working as they expect. Even Dr. Eva is also losing hope. Thomas decides to go back in WCKD building. He asks Teresa to help them get back inside the building to rescue Miho and find the serum that might save Newt. Without Teresa's fingerprints, they cannot open the secure doors. So she goes with them. They sneak deep inside the WCKD building and free 28 children trapped there. But Miho is not with them. He is in a special medical room where tests continue. Teresa knows the way and guides them. While they are going through a lift, Jansen also get there. Thomas and Gally are wearing masks, so Jansen does not recognize them at first. But he grows suspicious. Thomas wants to take Miho and that serum to cure Newt. Teresa try to convince him that it's your blood that holds cure for this virus, so we need you to help the humanity. Thomas doesn't want to believe her because she betrayed them before. Before they can reach to Miho and that serum, Jansen shows up with some guards because he know behind the mask it's Thomas, but before they can attack, Teresa pushes Thomas and Gally through a glass door and locks it, trapping herself on the other side with Jansen. She creates a way for them to escape. Teresa now runs a test on a blood sample she had secretly taken from Thomas when she was taking out that chip. The cloth she used on his body she takes with her. The result is stunning. Thomas's blood does not just slow the virus, it completely destroys it. No one has ever seen such a thing. Thomas is the real cure, she tells that to Dr. Ava Page. Meanwhile, Brenda takes the 28 rescued children to Lawrence's camp, the place where they decide to meet, but Lawrence is gone. He is on a mission. He climbs into a vehicle with dynamite in his hand and speeds full force into the main gate of the last city. A huge explosion rips through the gate, blowing it wide open. The walls that kept people out for so many years are broken. Lawrence had earlier hacked and jammed WCKD's weapon systems so their advanced guns could not fire. Now, thousands of infected and uninfected people pour inside the city. Chaos and fire spread everywhere. Thomas finally finds Miho in the lab, badly treated but alive. But Newt's condition is getting much worse. The virus is taking over. He begs Gally and Miho to go and get the serum to save him. They leave to find it. Thomas stays with Newt. Over the building speakers, Teresa calls out to Thomas, "You are the cure, Thomas. Brenda is alive because of your blood. You can save Newt and you can save everyone. Come to me." But before Thomas can react, Newt completely loses control. He attacks Thomas with a knife, his eyes wild and unrecognizable. They struggle terribly. Thomas tries to reach the friend inside, but the virus has stolen Newt's mind. In a brief, final moment of clarity, Newt turns the knife and stabs himself. He falls and dies in Thomas's arms. Thomas breaks down, heartbroken. He takes the gun and go to Dr. Ava Page and asks, "Is it true that I can save Newt's life?" She says, "Yes, you can save us and everyone." He drops the gun and says to Doctor, "You have to let go every child. You can have me." She promised that she will leave every other kid that is being held in WCKD labs. Now Jansen he kills Dr. Ava Page. Jansen is also infected, and his face shows signs of the sickness. He make Thomas to lost his consciousness. When he get back his consciousness, he is being held in lab where they tie him. Teresa is also there. She makes serum using Thomas' blood. Now Jansen tells them he wants the serum to cure only himself and a small chosen group, leaving everyone else to die. Because Thomas' blood is not enough to make serum for everyone while he wants to inject serum they just made now. Teresa smashes Jansen over the head, knocking him down. In fact, she don't know before that they were selfish people who she choose to work with and tries to free Thomas, but before she can free Thomas, Jansen wakes and attacks her. Now Thomas is free, he attacks Jansen, but he finds guns, so now Thomas and Teresa run from there. While they are running away, one bullet hit Thomas and he is bleeding. They hide in another room, but Jansen full woos them and find Teresa. She also have the serum that he needs. Jansen asks Thomas to come out, otherwise he gon' shot her. Thomas throws an object. Jansen dodges, but the object smashes the glass behind him. The glass wall shatters, and on the other side are cages full of hungry cranks. With the door broken, they swarm out and grab Jansen. They drag him away to a gruesome death. Now the building is burning and falling apart. Thomas and Teresa run for the roof. Brenda arrives with a plane, but the fire makes it hard to get close. The team pulls Thomas onto the aircraft, but as they reach again for Teresa, the building collapses entirely. Teresa falls into the flames and smoke. She does not survive. The next morning, Thomas wakes up in a safe place. His gunshot wound is bandaged. He walks outside and sees a calm island. Surrounded by a huge, peaceful ocean, he meets Miho. He is completely fine. Brenda, Gally, Vince is there, completely cured and healthy. The survivors, the immune and the healed, are all safe. They can live without fear because they are on island. But Thomas feels deep sadness. He thinks of Newt and Teresa and all they lost. While he was staring on deep ocean, he reaches into his pocket and finds a small vial. It is the serum Teresa made from his blood, the cure for the flare virus. A new hope rises in his eyes. He might be able to save all of humanity. He might be able to cure everyone still suffering. And with that hope, the story ends. A few questions remain from this story. Why did Brenda and Newt get infected even though they were considered immune? In the earlier film, Brenda was bitten by a crank, which put the virus directly into her body. But Newt was not bitten. The truth is that the virus had become airborne. It could now spread through the air. So Newt and even Jansen caught it simply by breathing. The children who are truly immune do not have the special elements in their blood that can make the cure. Only two people hold those powerful elements, Thomas and Miho. But even Miho's enzymes are not strong enough to completely destroy the virus. Only Thomas has the blood that can fully defeat the flare. That's why Brenda was completely cured and why Thomas became the last hope for the world. Maze Runner, the Death Cure, released in 2018. It is the final part of the Maze Runner series. On IMDb, the film holds a rating of 6.2. It was made on a budget of $62 million and earned an amazing $288 million at the box office. We hope you loved the story. Let us know your favorite moment in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Script Blueprint for more episodes.